guys, it's Jen. This is another Jen is Zen episode of Reframing Me. In these short bits, I give you something to meditate on or journal about. Today, I'd like you to think about this. Growing pains come standard with progress because growth is painful. Stagnation is easy. Are you avoiding the discomfort of a growth mindset? How can you instead sit with that discomfort today, knowing that on the other side of that pain is the growth we desire? Remember back when our kids were little and they'd randomly complain about like one leg hurting, or they'd complain about an arm hurting. I'd always tell mine that I sure hope the other one hurts tomorrow, or you're going to look really silly with that one long arm. Because just like you probably did, I realized that the pain was quite literally them growing. It hurt, but it had to happen. Their little bodies couldn't change into the big kids that they are today if they hadn't had that growth. It wasn't pleasant for them, I'm sure. I mean, I don't remember my own growing pains, but I'm sure it wasn't fun. I do know that at 48, I know that I need my workouts to include a good amount of strength training. I know it's good for me to build muscle to support my overall health, both my mental and my physical health. In fact, a number of months back, I really got into hypertrophy training, which is essentially lifting really heavy weight and doing a low number of reps. So basically, whatever the necessary number of reps you were supposed to do, like lift as much as you possibly can without failing. It is a great way to build strength and to build muscle, and I built up a lot of muscle mass, but it wasn't fun. I mean, it was fun. I love lifting heavy weights, but I mean, it was hard. It was painful. So in that respect, it wasn't fun. I was achy all the time, like achy, like my son comes home from month 4 of his daily football workouts and lifting. My muscles hurt. But just like if he wants to get bigger and stronger and faster, if I wanted to get stronger, I needed to deal with the growing pains that came along with it. But it was good for me. I needed the growth. And after months of that workout program, I needed to switch things up. I needed to set down the heavy weights and go back to my cardio. And wow, was that humbling. I have been a cardio girl my whole life, like literally forever. But when I got back on that bike and back on that tread, my body was like, excuse me? You are who? And you want me to do what? But I needed it. I needed to focus on that area of growth, and the only way to do it was through the struggle. Just like our kids wanted to grow, they needed to grow. But that desire to be tall or strong, or that need for their bones to lengthen, it didn't make it hurt any less. Sometimes the pain is more emotional, even when the change itself is physical. I mean, have you ever grown out bangs? Yeah, so very painful, even though it doesn't physically hurt, right? I'm going through something similar right now. So y'all know that my oldest, he just started college and he moved into his dorm a couple of weeks ago. Well, the stress leading up to that. I mean, really, if I'm thinking about it and being honest, the stress probably started, I'd say at the beginning of the summer, but that's not true because it was before graduation. And I'd say when it was actually feeling real, when he made his decision, but the decision process was excruciating. So, wow, I guess if I think about it, it was when he got his acceptances back, and that was like January. So what? 8 months ago? No wonder my lashes are falling out. But anyway, yes, my lashes, they have been shedding like crazy, which is a symptom, yes, of stress. Well, I have mentioned that I am a lash girl. Lash extensions have been my thing for like 10 years, probably. I'm not a makeup person, so my lashes are my go-to look. When they even get close to needing to be filled, I swear, I start to look like when you took Mrs. Potato Head's lashes off and she suddenly turned into Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, that's me. Well, I went for my normal lash fill last week, and she's like, your whole right eye, it's all baby hairs just growing back in, so it'll be fine, but it's too short for me to lash. They'll break off, she said. So I had no choice. I am currently lashless. I mean, I'm not lashless, but I am lash extensionless, which feels lashless after all of these years. But I know it's good for me. It's good for my lashes, for my lash health. But the process is painful as they are growing. Not physically painful, but it is mentally painful. I am lash seruming every time I walk past a mirror. I'm castor oiling at night. It's silly. I realize this. It's a silly problem, but it is my silly first world problem. So I am manifesting long, luscious, natural lashes. And the only way to that is through the discomfort of being Mrs. Potato Head for a minute. Just like the physical development of our bones growing or our muscles growing or our eyelashes growing, growing pains are necessary with any area of personal growth. If you want to grow, if you want to reach a new point, a higher level, whether it's career or spiritual growth that you're looking for, or if you want to pursue higher education, or you're looking for growth in your current relationships, or you're looking for new relationships, any growth, even the best growth, is going to include growing pains. I mean, if you were to quadruple your salary, it would be amazing, right? Of course. But do you think it wouldn't bring with it some level of pain in the form of the adjustments? Do you ever read about the great number of the people who win huge amounts of money in the lottery? It doesn't usually go very well for them. There are growing pains anytime you grow in your income. And not so much the more money, more problems that Beatty warned us about, but definitely more money, different problems. And any of you who have had a business grow totally understand that. If you've gone from being a single mom to a second marriage, it's most likely what you wanted. It's what you dreamed of, what you manifested. But there was a pain for you to get there, right? There was pain to then get everyone settled in, I'm sure. Starting a new job and definitely a new career. They say it takes time, but that's really short for it takes sitting through time that is hard, that is painful. The adjustments hurt. It's why people stay in difficult relationships or stay unhappy with their job. It's why people don't want to embark on a health or wellness journey. It's why we don't like our beliefs to be challenged. New is growth. Progress is growth. And growth is painful. It's unknown. It's scary. At least in our current position, whether it's in our career or relationships or financially or spiritually, at least where we are is known. We know that we can manage. We can handle it. We know that change will be hard and we don't exactly know how hard or how painful or if it'll even be manageable. So sometimes it's just better to stay stagnant. It's definitely easier to stay stagnant, even if we are unhappy, or even if we know that we most likely will be so much better and so much happier on the other side. But it's just going through it that we want to avoid because that's where the pain is. Now it's back to school time. And back to school is hard, just in general, right? New school year, new classes, new teachers, sometimes a new school or new people. Always new people, really, right? Because kids change so much. And 3 months' time, they can seem entirely like different people. So not only are there actual new people, but there are often even old people who seem like new people. New routines, so much change. But now for us this year, it has obviously been exceptionally hard. And I know that it has been hard for so many of you too, because I know so many people, both personally, because I have a college freshman who I'm reconnecting with, these moms from when he was little, and we're having all of these different conversations about what it's like to send them off. And then professionally, because of the podcast, I have had the opportunity to connect with so many more of you who are sending or have sent kids to college. And I hear way more often than not the same thing. It is a painful adjustment for so many, myself included, my children who are still the ones in high school, and even for my freshmen. And we are grateful. We have a very good situation, or I guess it would be rather an easier situation than most because he's stayed local. He has a great roommate. He's made nice friends, but it's still hard. It's still painful to be in a completely foreign environment, to grow and to thrive in that discomfort. It hurts. And for me, to grow and thrive in our new home situation, it's painful. And for the women I've heard from who are sending their first or their last or their only, they are trying to navigate this new world that they're into. On both sides, whether it's the mom or it's the kid, the transition is often very hard. Another year in high school would have been so much easier, right? They'd still be under your roof. You know what they're doing. You know who they're with. You have them home for dinner and sleeping in their own beds. They know everybody. They know where everything is. They were experts. They would be experts in just one more year of that. We'd be experts. If only it could stay that way forever, right? But no, they are ready to grow, to evolve, to change. And so are we. Well, maybe not ready, but would we ever be? They are, at least. They are ready to grow. And so we need to be ready too. But that's not to say it will be easy. I mean, many of us, we are the emotional equivalent of Mrs. Potato Head right now, right? We look in the mirror and we're like, who is that potato head? But even for them, for the most part, they are ready. They typically want this growth. They know it's a good thing. And yet, even with that, it's still so hard and painful for many. I hear every day about the kids who want to come home, who don't think that they can do it, who think that the classes are too hard, or they miss their family, they miss their friends, they miss their pets. They all miss their pets for sure. They need the growth. They want the growth. But that doesn't mean that the growth isn't hard. It is painful. And for us too, we need to grow now too. And oh, is it painful, which is why so many get stuck, why so many are stagnant. Some moms even try to live the same lives, have the same days, the same routine, be the same person who they were before their child or their children went to college. Just like many try to be the same person or same parent that they were when their kids were little, even now that when their kids are big. We may be unhappy in our careers, but many stay. They stay stagnant because it's easy. We may know it's time to grow. Maybe we apply for promotions, or we look for a new job, or we even get on an entirely new path. All of that is hard. But staying the same, keeping on the same course, that would be comfortable. It would be so much easier than putting yourself out there, trying something new or different. Maybe it's your relationship that's stagnant, or friendships, relationships that no longer serve you at this point in your life. But the mere thought of losing or ending or even changing them is scary. The act itself is downright painful. But on the other side of that pain is the growth we desire. Growing pains come standard with progress because growth is painful. Stagnation is easy. Are you avoiding the discomfort of a growth mindset? How can you instead sit with that discomfort today? Thank you so much for joining me today and always. It means so much to me that you're here. If you've enjoyed the show, please share it with your friends. That's how we continue to grow our community. Follow me on socials. It's Reframing Me everywhere. And until next time, be well and communicate.